Are you or somebody you know currently experiencing spacism? If so, please hit us up. You feel me? It's just like some sort of like how an awkward commercial intro would be, if such a thing as spacism existed, which it might, and we're going to talk about. But first, I want to thank everybody for watching the channel. I really appreciate it as we continue our journey into the realm of nothingness and sillydom. I want to just remind everybody that that's in fact what this particular channel is all about. And while we highlight serious topics and discuss, societal large scale ideas, we also like to, bring all that in and make that stuff silly just as much as we like to make silly stuff even sillier. I just like saying silly too. And so, okay, let's talk about spacism and whether or not you or somebody you know has been a victim of spacism. And so, spacism is the thought that you're better than a random fool because of your astrological sign, right? And astrology coming from space. You feel me? You're a spacist. You think your sign's better than mine. How dare you? And I say all of these things thinking those very things about your sign because I'm a Scorpio. And no offense to any other sign out there, but Scorpios are obviously the best. You feel me? You see how we did that, but it sort of like goes hand in hand with the very thought that such an idea exists. So maybe it's not so silly because how many times have you talked to somebody and the conversation is steered towards, astrological signs, and then a person's attitude can either completely change, stay the same, or it's like making a new best friend if they have the same sign, you know what I mean? Or even more than that, if you have the same sign as a person, you have more in common with to hate on other people, which is weird, kind of twisted, but also kind of funny in that astrological, signs sort of supersede any kind of clever discriminatory practice we can put on people as a result of just like our eyes. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. If you are of a different sign than mine, then we may have problems. And again, I think it's just really funny because it's really silly in that the thought that like something could categorically mean so much to so many people, again, regardless of religion, regardless of race, creed, ethnicity, culture, all these things. It doesn't matter what year were you born, like what's your sign, what time of the year were you born. Now we're having the conversation because there's this book called The Tipping Point. And The Tipping Point is a controversial book that discusses successful people, in that, if you're successful, you can blame most of your you can thank most of your success to, when you were born in the year. So in chronological order, right? And moreover, same thing with the alphabet, right? The author's argument is that if you have a last name that is closer to the beginning of the alphabet with a birth date that is closer to the beginning of the year, then studies show from his pool of data that those people are going to be the most successful compared to people born later on in the year. And with a last name that's like lower on or farther on the end of the scale to be in alphabetical order, on the alphabetical scale. And so I took offense to that because one, I'm a Scorpio, and two, I was born in October, you feel me? So this author is like straight up saying that if you were born at the end of the year and if your last name doesn't start with A, B, or C, you're gonna not win, and this cannot be true because my last name starts with a G, and yeah. So I'm very much interested in, and my birthday's in October, So according to this dude, I'm just set up to fail, which again is either going to reinforce a couple of things in my own life as it concerns my success to failure rate, or yeah, I'm really, really, really convinced that spacism is a thing and we all must talk about it and we all must be better at it. And so for the record, it's a joke. I don't really think that Scorpios are better than all other signs, you know. But if I did, I would think that only because I'm a Scorpio, you know. And that's why I would think that. And so it's a silly thing, I know, but it's only silly in that, you know, IDGAF, like what the person is. It's just, it's a thing I got going on in my own little mind right now. So thank you for watching one more time. I really appreciate it. And think about whether or not you're a spacist, whether you perpetuate spacism, and whether or not, you know, you really feel differently about somebody that is a different sign. You know, you could, and that's what I'm saying. You don't need to know anything else about this person other than their sign. Go. You know, what do you think? And it's sort of like, hey, you know, we all say we're not judgmental, but you know, ask me that question. And I'm such a Scorpio that I'm going to be able to tell you absolutely nothing about any other sign except for Scorpios. So that would just lead me to believe that I'm even more of a Scorpio than I'd like to be. So yeah, educate myself on the other signs. What for? You know? I'm just kidding. But yeah, so don't be a spacist, you feel me? I gotta work on some of this stuff. I'm not a spacist. You shouldn't be a spacist either.